Welcome back to day 12 of 100 days of VBA. Now, yesterday we looked at creating date and time objects in VBA, and today we're going to look at formatting and extracting bits out of those dates and times. For those, we're going to use built-in functions, some of which will look familiar because they're similar to their Excel counterparts. But let's get started. So we're going to write to the sheet in the usual way. So application.ActiveSheet.range. Select our range, which we're going to start in B2. Set our value. And our first one's going to be year. So the year function is very simply year. Now for all of our date objects, we're just going to use now because that gives us the current date and time, which means we can extract all the details we need to. So let's run that first one. There we go, 2024. It is 2024 as I record this video. Now let's work our way down. B3 is going to be month, so let's do month. 4, it is April, the 4th month. Now, sometimes, especially when you're working with users, it's good to show them the actual month name. Now, the difference between month name and year and month that we've done so far is that we have to give it the month number. We can't just give it the date object. So what we actually have to do is do month name, and in our month name, put month now. So we're finding the month number using our month function, and then from that we're finding the month name. There we go, April. As you can see there, a little options popped up there, abbreviate. So let's say true. So it defaults to false to not abbreviate it. Let's say true, and now run it. There you can see we've got the 3-letter version of April. All right, next let's do day. So day, I put it in the wrong place, down in B5. Day is 29, so that's day of the month the day function returns. Not day of the week, day of the month. So that's 29, today is the 29th of April when I'm filming, so that's going to give us 29. Next, we are going to do day of the week, so that's weekday, that function. And that's going to give us 2. That's because by default, the weeks are starting on Sundays. Now, for my business, my week starts on a Monday, so I'm going to add this extra option, VB Monday, as my start day of the week. And now you can see the weekday has gone back to number 1, because Monday is first of the week in this case. So always be careful with that one. Defaults to Sunday. If you want to specify Monday, add the second option, VB Monday. Now, weekday name works exactly the same way as month name does. So we need to take our weekday function and then around that put weekday name. And again, you can see we have that option to abbreviate. We're going to say true to start with. And that's going to give us month because today is Monday when I'm filming this, as you can see up here. And if I take away that abbreviation, it'll give us the full Monday. Now let's move into our time values. So I'm just going to copy and paste this so we can go down to the time values now in B8. I'm just going to do equals hour, and we're going to use now again, and that's going to give 14. It is about 25 past 2 when I'm filming, so that's correct. And I'm going to do the next 2 very quickly because you can probably guess how they work and what's going to happen. In B9 and 10, we're going to use minute and second. There we go. So 23 matches the time on my system, and it was the 35th second. So if I run that again now, that's already gone up to 42. So that's updating as we go. So that's great. The last one I'm going to show you is slightly different and slightly more flexible. So we're going to active sheet range. Now we're down in B12. And we're going to use the DatePart function. So DatePart, and we're going to give it interval as string, you can see there, and then date, and then first day of week. So interval is the part of the date we want. So you can do year, month, day, as we've done before. One of the extra options it has is quarter. So I'm going to put Q, then I'm going to give it a date, so now. I'm going to set it to my first day of the week is Monday again. And I'm going to leave the first week of the year as default because that's the 1st of Jan as default for the first week. So now if I run that, we're in quarter 2, which is correct because we're in April, the 4th month, 1st month of the 2nd quarter. If you wanted to do other values of this, we could do year, for example, 2024 again, or month, 4. And for reference, I'll include in a link below. It works similarly to the equals text function in Excel itself. Let's set that back to quarter for now. So there we go. We've used now to create a date object as we did yesterday, and we've used year, month, month name, day, weekday, weekday name, hour, minute, second, and date part to extract parts of that date.